everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing Jeskai, kind of flash style deck where we're really playing control, but we are going to be hinging incredibly hard on this Stoic Sphinx. This is probably one of the other cards that is very, very good from the new set. So I know control can be a little bit boring to kind of watch at times, but I think we want to showcase off any good cards that are being played, and this is one of them. So I did play Jeskai. The sideboard is mainly why I play Jeskai, but we're playing a best of three best of one right now instead of best of three. But my sideboard typically has a lot more red cards in it, and that's why I splash to play Jeskai, because it helps in control mirrors, things like that. So if you're only seeing 5 red cards in the main board, that is kind of why. And I will kind of talk over that very quick and briefly. But main cards that we added to the deck is we have 3 steps ahead. Honestly, I'm probably going to cut this and make this a 3rd copy, because this card actually did very well, and it does not lose value if our opponent plays a cavern, because we'll just use it as a draw and discard, or we'll use it as a 4 mana another Stoic Sphinx, because it'll have hexproof until their end step, and then maybe we can try to make a copy and hopefully they don't remove it. But either way, we can make another copy. And then this card didn't show up, so I'm not going to really talk about it too much, but the main purpose of playing it is we'll definitely take our 2 mana spell to blow up a Shieldred or blow up some important creature and give them a 2/2 Ox. Is way better than them drawing a card or having 2 maps that can technically draw them 2 cards by getting 2 lands, or make another threat way bigger in the process. So we'll just take the chance and make a 2/2 Ox and then answer it later with something like a Lightning Helix if we have to, or just picking it up with our board wipes or temporary lockdowns to get it for free. So that's kind of why that's in there. But other than that, only other like tech card that's kind of in here for random things is Flanker, and that is because of reanimate or graveyard style decks that are happening that we definitely need this in there for. Or sometimes we use it as a flash creature against the mirror to kind of be a 3/1 beater until our opponent removes it. So outside of that, let's go ahead and hop into the games, see how they go, and I'll see you in the outro. Honestly, sure, why not? Just why not, What are they going to do? Stop me? Harm me? Look. Gold's all he. A green? That's kind of terrifying. Fast case. Fallout lands. Very cool. Big Fallout boy myself. Alright, more cards I can't cast. So sick. Every draw, it's been a card I can't cast. Uh-huh. Phone it. I mean, the gig's up pretty much, so you should know I'm not playing, they might think I'm playing. Alright, well, I think I have to take 3 here. One of these gone, just exile this. The reason I think I gotta take 3 is because temporary lockdown can take care of the beast caller, and we probably have to. But, yeah, that seems about right. We find the blue land, but it's now tapped, so that's fine. We'll take there. We have Ill-Time Explosion plus a draw. We can maybe find some lands, have the Teferi kind of bite the bullet maybe. Or if we just rip land, maybe we have to play Teferi and make a creature. But the only problem is this gives trample to things, and they probably have trample in their deck regardless. What we got, opponent? Sentinel? I mean, that doesn't have trample technically. Ginger Brute. I can attack right away. This is something. Vigilance creature makes Emperor worse, and it answers both of these. Plus, we get to kind of keep our land. Very cool. Here we are. If I have to play Teferian Plus, I will. Patchwork, very sick. Very gross. I think I actually just have to take the hit this turn, which sucks. Maybe memory to lose. Maybe no. Maybe I should have just memory to lose right away. Sure. The dig for our board wipe. Farewell would be good. Plus land. Sunfall would be good. Still time's out of pocket now. Could have countered the other patchwork, but I think memory delusion is where we have to be. Where I thought they were just going to be a huge mana deck, and now they're just all of a sudden turning the heat up. Thought Beast Caller was just kind of to be a modified creature. Temporary lockdown's actually good here. Actually takes everything they own. Then do we just ensure we hit land drops? Or do we probably just take a... I'm just going to ensure land drops, I guess, to make sure we can flash this memory deluge back later. Then here's this. Another lockdown to take everything. You're ransacking it all. Give it up. I want them all. Right now. They could besage you this and get it all back. Which would be quite tragic, that's for sure. This is a copy of an artifact. How sick would it be to make a copy of a temporary lockdown? Just so we can copy an enchantment. Yeah, it'd be so dope. But it's not quite what it says. We just have to buff. Beast Caller, honestly, let's just counter it. We're trying to stick to fairy next turn. The less creatures in play, the better off we are. Especially considering they most likely are not going to have haste. You could play the Foundry, of course. Or bring up the Foundry. With that actually helps a lot. So I'm going to play Teferi and I'm plussing. Again, they could besage you this. Which would be bad.
For the sake of the future, I will defend the past. Another mystery solved.
Ah, they have besage you, don't you? Yeah, besage you, don't you? No. Oh, they didn't do it. Man, listen, I know I play them because you kind of have to. I honestly can't wait. Okay, that's an answer as well. I cannot wait. Genuinely, I cannot stress you how much I cannot wait for those lands to go away. The Beseiju lands and stuff like that. I feel like they're just so strong in standard that it's just kind of awkward for us to have to play around them. Plus here, let's draw. We find a land.
Now that is an interesting fact.
I think we can just kind of chill, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4 mana. We might have to counter a spell. Can we even counter? Yeah, we can. Just make sure we're not dumb about it. Sure. Where are our attacks going? Oh, all there? Mamma mia. I mean, that bought us some time, you know? This isn't gonna have hexproof anyway. Then we can just like helix this thing. Protect our Teferi at all costs. The amount of cards it's drawing for us is incredible. And it's going to continue to do so. Fairy is how we will win this game. A 1 mana fight spell? Uh-huh. It's not ready for that. Plus, no more lies. Not really where we want to be. We'll play here. We'll in turn. We can now memory deluge. We're working on it. We're trying. What you got, opponent? You can bring up the Foundry as well and attack. This is a creature I control. Yeah. Figured so. Just wanted to make sure. Okay. After a tank, they concede. Very cool. I'll take it. All right, here we are. We have blue, white. Helix is the only card I can't cast. I think like the No More Lies plus temporary lockdown can buy us enough time to play a bit of lands, so we should be fine. We'll play the Odawara first, though. Gonjo is a damage-based one, so if we find other lands, I'd much rather keep Gonjo at least early. Tiny Bones. Tiny Bones, you're probably here for the rest of the time until I feel obligated to remove you. Especially when our opponent tries to bat me here. Don't you dare. Oh, let's counter it and remove the creature off the board. One of the things about countering bats is so good, we deny information, plus now they can't do anything with it. We hit another land. Now it's spicy. They don't know what to expect. A left hook, an uppercut maybe? Who knows? They're Golgari? Well, that's new information to me. Do I value the Lightning Helix more or the No More Lies more? I think it's the No More Lies more, so I'm actually going to Lightning Helix this. Remember, Tiny Bones can only cast permanent spells, I believe. Non-land permanent cards. Yeah. So realistically, not going to be a lot. Unless they want to temporary lockdown themselves. No attack. Sick. Very excited about that. Are we playing an important card? You know I have the No More Lies. Mm-hmm. Flash and Flanker. We're looking to scry and gain 2. Scry 2, gain 2. We need lands, obviously. You know what I said about lands? Honestly, is 3 steps ahead good enough to keep on top? Probably not, right? Go for lands. The reason why 3 steps ahead I thought maybe we could is because of the fact that it does have that clause of drawing cards. Oh, nah. It can just sit here. Our win con, boring our opponent to death. Tiny Bones joins up. No way. Yeah, that's fine. This one. I don't want to really reveal that Memory to Lose is the card that I'm kind of tugging around here. I'll block Tiny Bones if you want me to. If you need me to, I'll do it. If not, I'll play this one. Sweet. Sweet. Yeah, we'll take these 2. I just wait. What do I do now? No, I can just hold up No More Lies if I play Celestis here. If they blow up a land, I can go find a land. I do have planes in my deck. Shoot the sheriff. Is the flavor text not on that? No way they didn't actually add the extra flavor text. That's insane. I'm so upset with them right now. Taking my Emperor, bro. I mean, I guess. But the flavor text on Shoot the Sheriff, at the end it says everybody else is fair game, which is a very cool kind of text that's on that card. But they didn't leave it on there, so I'm kind of bummed about it. I'm just going to lock down these things. I don't want to deal with them anymore. That's how we make game actions around here. We just say, do we want to deal with that card anymore? No? Okay, get rid of it. I can make a copy of Celestis. That's weird. Maybe we should put an artifact mana like rock in our deck that we can copy. We should probably be taking advantage of that at some point, but I don't feel like doing it now. Get Rog? I would like to cancel that. Seems good enough for me. Yeah, let's end turn here. Do I want to trigger this? Yeah, sure, why not? I'll let one of those go. Not necessarily the best card of all time right here. This is a 6/5 and trample. May sacrifice creatures, saddled it. Yeah, they won't have a saddle, I guess. So if they play another Get Rog and attack me, it's fine. Trigger, look at my hand. I flash this in. Honestly, good thing we got rid of the Stoic Sphinx, though. We look at my hand first. Probably should. Yeah. Now time for it to have hexproof till for the rest of time. Basket joins up. The death touch counter. That sucks. Decline. Sweet. Guess what? I'm not attacking into that. Seems like a bad idea. Now we'll definitely take these actions. Get these lands out of the way. We look like we're trying to hit. We're hitting a pot of them. They hit a land. Is Cottage coming up? I will block Cottage with the Stoic Sphinx. Most likely Cottage would come up and attack and then try to hit my Memory Deluge. If Deep Cavern Bat attacks, does something. It says someone legendary. When a legendary chooses to do combat damage to a player, draw a card. That's like okay. Now we Memory Deluge. We're feeling good. I'm gonna grab Teferi because Teferi's sick. We don't really need a land here. I'm just gonna grab March. Teferi is super sick here. And now we get to kind of do a lot of shenanigans. Story target artifact or creatures. Opponent creates a 2/2. Which is fine. Our draw. Looks like they have a bitter triumph, I would imagine. That was happening here. Yeah. Yeah. Draw a card though.
Another mystery solved.
Look, my Sphinx is fine. I get this out of the way. Honestly. Yeah, why not? Move this. Now if they bring the Cottage in and attack me. Sure. That's fine. I can be infected here. I have a 4-turn clock in the air, which is very cool. I'll take this action because if we find another Memory Deluge, that's actually great. Another March is actually better. In my opinion, with what my mana is looking like. If they bring up Cottage, I can exile for 1 white, which is actually insane. Looks like that's what we're going to get here. I'm going to let them float the mana if they want. I don't want them exiling anything because I don't want them to make a food and make this game last any longer. There's a couple of cards that they could be playing in their deck that I am a little afraid of. Take this action, same kind of concept. Try to get lands out of the way, maybe find Memory Deluges, things like that. Do the combat, attack for 5. Let us activate this today. Probably won't cast a spell. So it'll go back to night. No More Lives is pretty sick. We'll throw that away. We'll end turn here. This will go back to night. Take the action. Keep throwing these lands away. We have a 2-turn clock right now, and these other Stoic Sphinxes are in the bottom. We have one in our graveyard. So it's definitely a little bit weird here. Don't worry, I'll just keep talking. It's fine. Go first, blue, white. Only ill time it's the red card, and I have a potential loot mechanic here. 2 counter spells. Seems great. Actually, it's not even a counter spell, right? Because it doesn't work that way. Because we need another blue. Case. Oh, super sick. I love our opponent already. Please be the life gain deck. That's so sick. I hate beating this deck. Oh, never mind. There's something else. They're spicy. They're crazy boys. Honestly, I don't care about the life. Game life king. Sundown pass. Now we're chilling. Now they don't know what's happening. We're about to get the crisscross applesauce. Bearded Companion. That's a draw though. Draw and gain. Guess I don't care really. Nah, I kind of do. I'm not letting them get more value if I can prevent it. Sure. Farewell is going to be a sick card to play to, especially in this matchup with this case. Now I wouldn't care about the Spirited Companion, to be honest with you, because Indestructible doesn't work here. Honestly, one of the reasons Ill-Time Explosion is actually kind of bad. There's been a lot of the spree cards that have kind of pivoted towards giving Indestructible or Hexproof and things like that. Even though Hexproof obviously doesn't bother this necessarily, but Gain 2, go up to 4. Let's just counter it. Just in case I have to use this ill time to just draw cards, I will. I don't have a 6 land in hand guaranteed. So that's a little bit kind of a concern for me. We'll play this in Ganja, we'll pass. And now with Memory Deluge ×2, like, if I don't find an untapped land, well, I guess not ×2, I guess it's only 1. But if I can't play a Memory Deluge and get a land here, then I don't know what I'm doing. Double up. Memory Deluge. Got plenty of time. Sundown pass the Sphinx to close out the game, or start to close out the game. We just need artifacts and enchantments and things. I could be a little greedy here and just like let them commit more, and I think I'm going to. Kind of what we have to bet around a lot of times is like let them kind of pop off, and then hopefully we can do some stuff. This is an enchantment, enchantment. Most likely they'll play a ton of creatures, but I'm looking to Memory Deluge here. Veteran's fine. I thought about flashing this in, but it doesn't really do anything. I'm just looking to Memory Deluge here. Pretty Companion, pretty good. Gain all your nonsense. Do all your nonsense. The other thing, this is a secret tech when you're playing control. Do a play that's so annoying to your opponent that they just want to concede also, you know? Yeah, sure. The other thing is we're not going to exile graveyards because we have 2 Memory Deluges in there. It's too important. Can't afford to do so. We'll do that. And honestly, do I have the mana for this? I do. I'm just going to flash in both of them. I kind of want to just temporary lockdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, if they remove it, that's just way worse, right? It's way worse for me. Yeah. Creatures, enchantments. We'll call that a day. Then exile my Celestis, obviously. They can pop this if they want. It'll just go in the graveyard, which they can then bring it back later. But obviously we are not looking to do our graveyard because we have the Memory Deluges. Sure. There's a Bless. Not able to come back now. Has to come back on a different turn. A Naturalist in the deck. Okay. Obviously, like, it's been green-white enchantments a little bit with these, but, like, didn't know how hard into that they were really leaning thus far. It didn't seem like that crazy, but here we're definitely going to just end turn. Plus this will trigger. We'll take the action. Maybe not the lane we're looking for. I think I'm fine with just passing. You know, sometimes it's just got to be done. They can ossification me all they want. I have a Stoic Sphinx. We're looking to maybe gain the life. There's ossification, which is fine. We're not that worried about it. We will ossification it down though, because we got a long way to go. Investment 0. Poke this little boy over here. Let me out. My Stoic Sphinx says. And now he is having a fantastic time. I'll play a land, move to combat, we'll attack, hit for 5, down to 27. End turn, have hexproof till end step, and then we'll flash in our other Sphinx. Voice of the Blessed is fine. We have a temporary lockdown to answer any Voice of the Blessed shenanigans that they might conjure up. Sure. Stoic. We're moving in. We're 15. Attack. I think if I was a gambling man, I think the idea should probably be to, I mean, if they grow it to enough to kill us here, like, so be it, I suppose. Right? Like, I don't know how they grow it big enough to beat us. I mean, that's a start. Good thing to gain some life, and they're on their way. Like, you wanna flash in another one? I might, maybe. Lightning Helix. Lightning Helix, I guess. Like, just get right to it. Watch this top deck another one. You ready? Ready, chat? Ah, we missed. Get in there. Then now we just same game plan. I can always now Lightning Helix this voice. I can search, maybe find something else like a March, and then I can temporarily lock down everything else. Just like not a big deal whatsoever. Obfuscation, sure. Obfuscation looking real weird here. That sucks. I know I laugh, but that is just like the epitome of what's happened to enchantments when it was strong about 3 sets ago. An absolute devastating deck to play against. But now we can see that Ossification kind of ran its course and it's not near as strong as it once used to be. And there we go. All right, here we are, team. We are back on Jeskai. Now, it looks a little bit weird here because, like, why are we playing Jeskai? Like, if we're not really kind of that committed to it. And I've been way more committed to it in the past with a couple of things. But the problem is I really want to try new cards. I didn't necessarily want to play blue-white. I love Lightning Helix. I think it's a very good stabilization card for us. And Ill-Timed Explosion is very sweet. And I think it helps kind of cater into this deck. I have played like something like a Volt Strider in the past. Volt Strider, like this card right here, is a card that I played in the past. And I might end up throwing back into the deck and make it a little bit more on the Jeskai front. I just wanted to see if the cards I'm even playing it for are still kind of good and viable. And it's a little bit weird here, more or less, because this doesn't necessarily look as good in terms of like, why are we playing red? But it's just sideboard options is what I really went to playing red for. If you haven't seen my videos in the past, when I played this with best of 3, I was playing the I was playing a lot more red things in the sideboard than you would probably think. Like, for example, against Esper, I was playing the red spell Lithomantic Barrage. I think I said that wrong. I'd play those, or I would play the 3-mana enchantment that makes like the X1 every turn with trample, and I would actually bring those in the control mirror, and they would be very cool because it would win us games that way. So I know this doesn't look like Jeskai that much in the starting shell, but it's realistically what we would get in the sideboard, and the sideboard glitch is still happening, as you can see. Like, I put 2 in here, it says 1, so I didn't bother putting anything in there because I can't show it off anyway, because Arena's great. I don't know. Other than that, what do we add outside of what I talk about in the intro? And that is 3 steps ahead. I'm honestly probably going to go up a little bit on this card because I think it really does just replace our quick study spot on the fact that we can use it to draw 2 cards and then discard a card. A little bit of value missed there, but I think the flexibility that this provides is so much better in the late game. Because guess what? This is now also 2 more copies of this Stoic Phoenix if we want it to be. It's 2 more copies of this, like, the fairies creature that we have if we want it to be. And if we make any other artifacts along the way, or maybe an artifact that our opponent gives us along the way, we can make another copy of, and things like that. And then it's just cancel. We have a 3-mana just counter target spell, and it's just great, you know? There's a lot it can do. I like that a ton about it. So we actually have it slotting into the 1 spot. We actually used it a ton today, which was very nice. Because this card is not completely dead when you run into those Boros matchups with caverns and stuff like that. Because we can still use it as a draw spell. That's kind of why you see the 3-mana counter spell drop out of a lot of decks. Because we don't need more than 4 dead cards in the hand if needed. And then, of course, we're still in that 4 March plan. It's so good early, and it's really good late to answer pretty much any threat that we need or any awkward thing that's affecting us that we need. And then we added this intervention. This is kind of just a 2-mana catch-all thing that doesn't draw our opponent's cards. I will definitely take a 2-mana, remove a Shieldred, and give them an Ox instead of giving them 2 maps or a clue token that they can then use in order to draw a card, or even a map. Like if it's 2 lands, they got 2 lands off the top of their deck and they drew 2 cards. Even though it might not seem like it because it's just lands, they did still draw 2 cards, and we much rather have them draw the lands like every turn instead of like drawing something good after removing them. Demoralize, Lightning Helix, one of the main reasons we're playing red, just to make sure we kind of have a way to close the game a little bit quicker if needed, or we have a way to gain some life against the matchups that it matters in. We have the Flanker to exile graveyards. Obviously, I'm a little paranoid considering I just played the Reanimator deck, but they are out there, so I'm definitely playing this for that. And we also have like Marches, Lightning Helix. Stuff can stop that combo, but we have to make sure our life total is high, which is the other reason I'm trying to play red for Lightning Helix as well. But Temporary Lockdown, very cool. Obviously, we know what this card's for. I don't think it really needs any explaining itself. But we have Celestis to help filter. We have one of Wandering Emperor, just be a nice filling card. We have 4 Memory Illusions, which is going to be incredibly sad when it rotates. But then, the main piece, the Stoic Sphinx, the card that the other kind of Dream Trawler style cards want to be. And why is that? It is mainly the hexproof, the flash being very important, and it's only 4 mana for a 5/3 with flying, which is absurd. 4 mana 5/3 flying, and most of the time in our deck we'll have hexproof when it matters. So that's pretty good for us. We like that a lot, and it can close out games very, very quickly. And the Control Mirror on their end step, flash this in if they do not have the counterspell ready, which again, a lot of decks are only playing 4. And we are playing cards that they'll definitely want to interact with, like Memory Illusion stuff. This ends the game incredibly fast. And cards like Emperor during combat cannot flash in and exile it because it will have that hexproof still. So it's just very awkward. And then we have the L time as a 1 of fun of. 1 Sunfall, which you could argue maybe more, but the problem is with how aggressive the format is, it's like if you get 2 or 3 of these in your hand, it's very tough. I don't think when we needed a board wipe, we were unable to find it or something to help us get along our way. And then we have Teferi Temporal Pilgrim. And I love this card just in general as a draw mechanic and just like a way to win the game in some weird spots, because against control and stuff like that, like playing Teferi and making the 2/2, they now have to answer your Teferi and the 2/2, or like every single turn we'll probably make one, because we can draw Celestis or even 3 steps ahead, and then Farewell to kind of close out the game. Outside of that, our mana is a little bit weirder. It's actually nicer now because we actually have some cool lands like Spire Bluff Canal in here and Inspiring Vantage, which helps kind of help the curve. Now you'll notice I have no creature lands in here. I'm just sick of playing tap lands. I'm going to be honest with you. The format's too fast. The amount of times I've had to play a turn 2 tap land and then I get the Super Prowess guy flying in the air, bonking me for a ton when I'm just sitting here with my 2 mana like Lightning Helix that I could have removed it with, or my March. Well, March I could probably still remove it, but just like in general, I could have had a counterspell. I could have Lightning Helix, but I had to play a tap land because I wanted to get it down early, and I drew it off the top, and I was just like, maybe it's the only lands I have. Maybe I have 2 tap lands in hand. I don't have a choice. It's happened quite often. I'm just sick of playing them. So I took a break from playing them. Put your main lands in. They're probably fine. The blue-white one, Flyer, is probably the best one if you want to play them. But I just personally signed off on them today. I just said, get out of the deck. I just don't want to play you today. I don't want to bother. But outside of that, I hope you all enjoyed regardless. And I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching and goodbye.